Hey, everybody, you have tuned in to the Boss Women Network podcast. I have a great guest today. So, and we're about to get started. Welcome back to the Boss Women Network podcast, where bold women share powerful stories. Today, I have the honor of speaking with a powerhouse in women's healthcare, board certified women's healthcare nurse practitioner, and founder of Vagesty, Annterria Bruce. Welcome. Annterria is building a legacy through her commitment to women's wellness, natural products, and creating safe, empowering spaces. Let's talk about her journey, the mission behind Vagesty, and her passion for helping women navigate important stages like perimenopause. So, welcome to Boss Women Network podcast, Annterria.
Thank you for having me. I love your platform. I love what you're doing for both women. It is very empowering and inspiring. So yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I am so excited to have you here because you want to talk about perimenopause. And today, I know that I am at the beginning stages of it. I know a lot of women are probably struggling with it and confused because a lot of us don't even know we're in that phase.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just dive in. My first question for you today is tell us about Vagesty and what inspired you to launch the business and what sets it apart.
So Vagesty was founded in November of 2020. And so I decided to launch Vagesty because millions of women deal with pH balance issues, whether it's bacterial vaginosis or yeast infection. And I myself had dealt with that years of going through antibiotics and, it's coming back and just not knowing all the ins and outs, just trying to figure out like what's causing this, what do I need to do and things like that. So when I discovered boric acid suppositories, total game changer. And I just felt like, women like me are, it's just like a taboo of talking about vaginal issues. And I want to break those barriers and break down those myths associated with vaginal issues and create a platform, create a brand, create a business that not only for women who look like me, who's gone through with me and I have the extra layer of credibility being a women's health nurse practitioner. So I not only went through it like millions of other women do, I also have the credentials to back up everything that I'm saying.
I love that. Before we move forward, you said something. I'm like, what is that? You say something about, did you say borax suppositories?
Boric acid
Boric
suppository.
acid. Tell me
Yes.
about that.
So boric acid suppositories, it helps women restore their pH balance. So if you're dealing with vaginal odor, like that fishy odor, itchiness, discharge, it helps with yeast infection and bacterial vaginosis. So it can
Really?
treat and relieve those symptoms that women have. Sometimes you may not be able to make it to the doctor. You might have to take off work and you might not have enough sick time or PTO and things like that. These are at-home remedies that you can use to treat bacterial vaginosis and yeast infection. Now, I just want to be very clear, it does not treat STD. So if you're not sure what you're experiencing, please seek medical attention so you can get the appropriate treatment.
Yes. So, with those suppositories, I thought that you had to actually go to the doctor if you have like a vaginal infection,
So this here's the thing.
like a bacteria infection for
Here's the thing.
antibiotics. Hmm.
Here's the thing. So I know my body and I know the difference between discharge, color, and meaning. A lot of women don't, and some women do. They know the difference. So if you are not sure, then you can go to the doctor and get checked out, make sure it is what it is. And when you get there, some doctors do recommend boric acid suppositories, especially if you're dealing with bacterial vaginosis, recurrent bacterial vaginosis, and yeast infection. They may add that in conjunction with antibiotics or antifungal medication.
Wow. So can you take that without antibiotics and still be?
Yes, you can.
Oh, wow. And is
So
this
that's
something
your choice. It's a combination between you and your doctor coming on with a care plan. Like me myself, I did years of antibiotics, and then that would clean me out to where I get a yeast infection.
right,
So now
right,
with boric acid, I don't have to worry about getting a yeast infection for taking flagyl or metronidazole from
right.
clearing me out. You see what I'm saying? So it
Mhm.
just straight to the source. It's the suppository that you insert inside of her. And so you have to worry about, taking the pills because the metronidazole that's used to treat bacterial vaginosis leaves a metallic taste. And I hated
Oh,
that taste.
wow. Mm.
Yes. So if you know what I'm talking about, if you experience recurrent BV, you know the taste I'm talking about with the metronidazole.
Mm. And this is something that you can get over the counter without a doctor's prescription. The
Correct.
suppositories.
As well as my website, vagesty.com.
Oh,
I
wow.
offer a boric acid suppositories. It's actually our number one seller.
Mm. That's good to know because, a lot of times we get a bacteria infection. We don't want to have to go to the doctor just for something like that because it's nothing major, but we want to
Right.
be able to just fix it at home. But then I didn't even know that was something you could fix without having to take antibiotics. And I hate taking antibiotics because it makes me sick. Like I
Yes.
always forget when to take it with food, without food, and then it ends up making me nauseous.
Yes, because with the metronidazole, you cannot take it with alcohol at all. So
Oh,
that's one
wow.
thing. Yes, you can't take it with alcohol.
No
Correct.
alcohol. Shoot, you can't take it without food either. You're gonna be sick. Well, for me, I get sick every time. I always forget to eat first and then, oh
Mhm.
gosh, I'm out of there. Okay, well, that was some really great information just starting out with the interview. I love it already. Okay, so you mentioned women's health is your calling from God.
Yes.
Can you speak of how your faith has influenced your work?
So yes, God is my provider. He's the head of my life. He's just awesome, and He has been guiding me on this journey of being an entrepreneur. It's not always peaches and cream. There are definitely times where the season is just not the best, but God has just been giving me the strength, renewing my strength to keep going, even when I feel discouraged and unmotivated. God has been giving me the strength. So women's health, I have always had the desire for women's health. I started off as a labor and delivery nurse.
Oh,
And so when I wanted to advance my nursing degree, I decided to be a women's health nurse practitioner.
oh,
And
wow.
so, anywhere from pregnancy, postpartum, STI, vaginitis screening, UTI, perimenopause, menopause treatment, just menstrual health overall, weight loss. I do specialize in PCOS as well, polycystic ovarian syndrome. I do specialize in those areas.
Um, Before we move forward with that, I've been hearing a lot about PCOS. I know it's a woman thing, but can you tell me about, dive a little deeper into what is PCOS?
Yes, so polycystic ovarian syndrome, short term PCOS, is a metabolic disorder.
Hmm.
So women typically don't know they have it until they're trying to get pregnant, they're trying to conceive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's how I found out. I was like, why did I get pregnant all this time? And
Hmm.
yeah. And so it's like an umbrella how it's playing to my patients. It's like a syndrome, and under umbrella is many, many different symptoms. So you can have hyperandroidism, which is like high male hormones, testosterone. DHEA hormones could be elevated, and that's when some women get the hair in their face,
Oh,
unwanted facial hair. It could be trouble losing weight, irregular periods. That's where the infertility come in at, because their periods, they're missing like 2 and 3 months of their menstrual cycle, and they're
hmm.
not ovulating. Now, the cysts on the ovaries, even though it's called polycystic ovarian syndrome, you can have PCOS and not have cysts on your ovaries.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and so the main thing I would recommend for women with PCOS is, so sometimes providers like to put a band-aid over it and just prescribe birth control. So the root cause is making sure your hormones are balanced. And so that's with diet, the proper diet and exercise, or I should say lifestyle changes. Because eating diets like high in carbs, those pastas and white rice and things like that, that can trigger and make things worse over time. So
Oh,
really tune it into like more like plant-based, green leafy vegetables, even the type of fruits that you eat. You would think that you can have a banana and pineapple and it's good because it's a fruit, but they're too sweet. You need to focus on low glycemic fruits like apples and berries. Berries are also, like strawberries, blackberries, antioxidants.
hmm.
So yeah, I offer a plan to women who are going through after they're diagnosed PCOS, about lifestyle changes. Now, if they decide to that they want to do birth control to regulate their cycle, that's fine. I just like to give women a choice, like
Right.
different options that they have, whether it be fertility, they want to conceive, if it's weight loss, or if it's just lifestyle changes that they want to just get their hormones balanced.
Okay. Do you also treat like fibroids or endometriosis?
So yeah, I do treatment for fibroids, endometriosis. It just depends on exactly what the woman is wanting, because infertility is a problem with women with endometriosis as well. So
Right.
the only way you can be defined with endometriosis is through a procedure, a laparoscopic procedure. And so for me, that's out of my scope, so I will refer to OB gynecologist for that
Okay.
part. Yeah.
Okay. What about the fibroids?
So fibroids, when it comes to like managing the heavy menstrual bleeding and the cramps, I can treat that. But if you want something more like fibroid embolization, where they shrink the fibroids, myomectomy, where they remove the fibroids, or even a hysterectomy, again, I would have to refer to OB gynecologist because that's out of my scope.
Right. But you can help with regulating or helping with the cycles being so heavy and things like that. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Well, then that's good information as well to have because, a lot of us suffer from fibroids. Um,
Yes.
I also have endometriosis and I have fibroids, but they're not bothering me, thank God.
Yeah.
I was told I had a small fibroid. I did have a large one some years back and had to have it removed, but
Okay.
haven't had any major issues. But I hate the endometriosis because I think that's what took me into starting perimenopause a little earlier than what I would have liked to get into that phase.
Hmm.
So I guess we can go on into it so we can talk about that perimenopause. Um, but before we get to that, what does creating a safe space for women healthcare mean to you? And how does Vagesty embody that mission?
So creating a safe space is what Vagesty is about. So I want women to feel free to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions and, challenge the answers and things like that. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel relatable to what I'm going through. I want you to feel represented, right? Especially for us that Black women, they don't listen to us when we say we are hurting and pain. They think we can take pain. We got some type of superpowers, which we do, but listen to us when we say we're in pain, we say something that's not right. So I really, I'm really creating a space for women to invest in Women's Center for women to give me everything that they need to give me, and I will be able to, give them a plan of care so they can feel heard and have options. It's not like this or that. Okay, this is what I have for you. This is what I suggest, and it's up to you if you want to go with that. As far as like giving you the risk and the benefits. Look, sis, this was the risk, and this is the benefits. You got outweigh and see which one is worth it and what's not worth it. So having that platform or the space, I should say, for women to feel comfortable and heard is very, very important.
That is so true. Do you have like an online community where you speak to women that can just ask you quick Q&A questions like monthly or something like that about their
You,
bodies?
you know what? My teen daughter said, Ma, you should do an ex Anterria thing on TikTok. And because I get a lot of questions on TikTok in my inbox or on the posts that I have. So that's something that now that you mention it, I just remember she told me I should do it. I should do something, whether it's just weekly, ex Anterria, go live, ask your questions. But I have to make sure that I do my like disclaimers and things like that, because I do have a license. I gotta make sure that
Right.
I'm doing everything.
Understandable.
Yes.
So, you've been in business for 4 years now. What's been the most rewarding part of the journey so far?
Oh, seeing women, their reviews, their feedback from the products and the services.
Mm.
Like the other day, I had a patient tell me, "Thank you so much for prescribing the vaginal estradiol. Estradiol, it made such a difference. She was having issues being intimate because of the dryness and the pain."
Oh,
And yeah, so I know we're gonna get into perimenopause. So she was like, "Thank you so much. It made a difference." And that's what keeps me going. I'm making a difference in women's lives. The products and the services that I provide is helping them, giving them a better quality of life. That's the
yeah.
goal.
And somebody that they can ask questions to.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's that's great. So, what challenges have you faced with exposure and funding, and how have you worked to overcome them?
Girl, I'm gonna cry. I won't cry.
Oh.
So just recently, like I'm going through a season right now where the sales are not there, and the bookings is not there. And recently, like I don't know if I lost my motivation or whatnot, but I have not been posting. I just had to recently turn in my key. I'm being very transparent. Okay, I had to turn in my key to my location, so I
Oh,
closed down Vagesty Women's Center for now. So not having, when they say Black women are the number one people to start a business, but yet we are severely underfunded, like
yeah.
that is so true. And I feel like I gave my all. I've been giving my all. Like I have periods where I'm just like, going live on TikTok, posting daily, doing reels, trying to do the content, and sending out email marketing and trying to build the community. And sometimes, it's not the return of investment, whether it's
Mhm.
financial investment or just my energy. I don't get a
Right.
return, but you got to keep going and keep going. But this period, it made it to the fact that I had to shut down my center, but my website is still up for my products. And so right now I'm just kind of just like waiting on God to see, I believe he's ordering my steps and he does everything for a reason.
Most definitely.
And like today I like, when I emailed you, text you in your DM, like, look, right now it's a hard time.
Yeah, I remember
Let's
that.
right. And look, you see my hair still. And I said, you know what? Stop making excuse. Just do a little
Just
wash
go
and go.
for it. Just
Yes,
go.
just go for it. So I believe I'm going to make a comeback. Right now I'm just like
You are making a comeback. You know what? I got something to say about that. It could be God making you pivot. Maybe a location was a start, but you really don't need a location for what you're doing because you have Zoom, you have a platform, you can go live, you can give advice, you can talk to millions versus the people that would be coming in and out of your office. But now you have access to millions of people if you just go live or go, talk on social media on a regular basis, tell them about your services and tell them about all the things that you offer and answering all those questions, that's larger than life. So it could be a situation like that. You'll get more sales and get more customers and everything without even having the expense of an overhead.
yes, yes, because I do offer virtual visits as well. Certain
Yeah.
visits I can do virtual. So that's my focus right now, just keeping it virtual and then having my online sales
Yeah. That's actually great. A lot of doctors want to do, I think a lot of them have transitioned to doing
virtual.
virtual,
Yeah.
especially since COVID. It started a trend and now they like it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think you're gonna do great. And if you're not already, you're doing great. We're gonna claim it,
Thank
speak
you.
into
Yes.
existence. We're not gonna even worry about all that other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be all right. It's
It
already all
is.
right.
It's already all right. That's right. All right. So perimenopause. That is a topic that many women don't talk about enough. What symptoms should women be aware of and how can they manage them naturally?
Okay. So perimenopause. So it can start as early as your late 30s into early 40s. So symptoms you need to be looking out for, because there's like over 80, right? So the main symptoms may be mood changes, irritability, irregular cycles, trouble sleeping at night. Maybe you go to sleep but wake up and you can't go back to sleep. Low energy, low libido, just feeling fatigue and drained. Maybe some weight gain, especially in the area of your abdomen.
Yes.
You working out, eating right. You're like, why these last 10 pounds won't budge? Why my stomach won't budge? It's probably because it's perimenopause. As
Hmm.
you might have some hot flashes, night sweats. Um, your periods may be irregular. So things like that you want to look out for. Even like skin and hair changes, joint pain, brain fog.
Oh
Oh,
my
that is one
goodness.
like I was forgetful. What was I doing
Yes.
again?
Yes.
Yes, that is a symptom of perimenopause. So
Oh,
naturally, you can do is one is your lifestyle change. What you was eating in your 20s and maybe early 30s is not the same when you're going through that midlife perimenopause, menopause. You need to focus more on protein because you're going to lose muscle mass, right? You need to
mm,
focus on protein, drinking your water, again, decreasing the high carbs, like the white carbs and bread and things like that. You want to focus on green leafy vegetables and your complex carbs, like your grains, and make sure you have your fiber and things
Mm.
like that. Even collagen, those are supplements you should be taking. Vitamin D.
Mm.
Vitamin D is so important. Y'all know black women, y'all know we have low
Have to have that
vitamin D.
vitamin D. Yeah.
Yes, vitamin D. Getting your hormones checked can be good as well to kind of like see where you're at, but it's not an indicator to where like if it's normal, that means that you can't get started on treatment if you don't want to, right?
Right.
So
Right.
is this an indicator, kind of like a snapshot of where you're at? You can also talk to your doctor about care, like hormone replacement therapy. There are supplements you can take over the counter, but I'm gonna be very transparent with that. Supplements, when they work, they work, and when they stop working, they stop working. You may have to go ahead and add hormone replacement therapy.
Question. I've been seeing a lot of things online saying that hormone replacement therapy can cause cancer. Is that true, or have you heard of anything like
No, 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 no. Let me debunk that right now.
that? Okay.
Because what happened in 2000, I want to say 2001 or 2000, Women's Health Initiative, a clinical trial happened. And in that trial, they said that hormone replacement therapy caused cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, heart problems, strokes, and everything like that, right? But what they failed to realize was that the women that they had in that study were either 10 years or close to 10 years post-menopause, already had cardiovascular issues, already was obese or overweight. And so those are the things that they failed to mention. And so what happened was doctors immediately took off their patients off of hormone replacement therapy, and women became miserable. But what the thing is, cardiovascular disease is the number one cause of that in women.
Really?
Hormone replacement therapy helps provide a better quality of life, cardiovascular protection, I should say, in women. So if you take that away, then you decrease our quality of life, and the death age can be, early on. And so now recent studies have shown that hormone replacement therapy is actually safe, even safe for some women with breast cancer.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. And so that's one of the goals that I have for Vagesty these last couple of months, is just get the information, the updated information out there, especially for Black women, because we can go through perimenopause. I'm sorry, like the perimenopause stage for like 12 years.
It's that long? Oh my God.
Yes, up to 12 years. And white women and Asian women can have maybe 3 to 7 years of going through it. But
Why? Why?
yes,
Is it
it's
because
just
we go through so much stress as being a Black woman, just
that
society?
that and no, they don't hear us. What happened with Oprah? Did you see this Oprah story when she was going to the doctor? Oh no, it's just this, or it's a heart
Oh, yeah,
problem.
yeah,
She
yeah.
had palpitation. That's another symptom of perimenopause. Oh, you have to
Mm.
take this medicine for your heart. But all she really needed was hormone replacement therapy. So again, doctors, some doctors, I ain't gonna say all, because when their curriculum in med school, I think they're making changes now, but in the beginning, they weren't getting menopause, the menopause
Education.
studies, yes,
Yeah.
education, right? So even me, I had to take courses outside of my advanced practice nursing degree. So
Mm.
yes. So it's very important that you find a doctor. Listen to me carefully, everyone. Find a doctor or nurse practitioner that specializes in menopause or midlife care, because that's gonna make a difference. Because if you go to like your regular PCP or even sometimes your OB-GYN, oh no, you don't need that, it's gonna cause cancer, and you're gonna be miserable. So it's like you want to be miserable, you want to be happy and healthy and have a better quality of life.
That is horrible that they're telling people that it causes cancer. You know?
Yes.
So basically, are you saying that if you are overweight, like obese, it could potentially cause cancer?
Yeah, so you have to take a lot of things into consideration.
Hmm.
So like again, like your lifestyle. So if you are overweight and you're eating just whatever you want to eat, and you have hypertension and you start hormone replacement therapy. So we probably, depending on your provider, they might want you to get the weight under control. and maybe hypertension, if that's not managed correctly, they probably want to do a couple of things. They probably could start you off small, because remember, you with hormone replacement therapy, we starting up the lowest dose, the lowest effective dose. So if they're practicing correctly, they would not start you with the highest dose, right? Because that's definitely going to cause you to have some issues. So say you're a woman who's overweight and you have a little bit pre-hypertension, they'll probably do like management of everything, weight loss, hypertension, making sure that you get down control, and maybe start you off with a little bit of a lower dose of hormone replacement therapy. It just depends on what issues you're having, because each hormone affects different things. Like, for example, your progesterone will help with your mood and your sleep, and like protecting your uterus, whereas you have your estradiol, what helps with like the brain function, your heart function, skin, and libido, and things like that. So it just depends on your symptoms, and they will prescribe HRT, hormone replacement therapy, based on your symptoms.
That makes sense. So, what part of that do you help with? Since I know you're a nurse practitioner, are you able to give prescriptions on things like that, or it has to be from a doctor?
No, I do prescribe hormone replacement therapy.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is so cool.
Yes,
So,
I do that, and I can recommend things you can take, like supplements, like magnesium glycinate, ashwagandha, things that help with your sleep. If you just don't want to start with hormone replacement therapy in the beginning, right? So I give you all those options.
yeah, I'm gonna do some more research on it because I'm scared. They should have never said that about the cancer. I'm
Yeah.
still scared of
So
it.
there is this book. I also have a menopause book
Okay.
called "Let's Talk About Menopause: Everything Your Mom and Them Didn't Tell You." It's on my
Mm.
website,
I like that
but
because they did not tell us.
they did not. And also, I will recommend the book called Estrogen Matters. So if you're on the fence about should you start HRT or not, definitely that book right there is a game changer for women. Estrogen Matters. Look it up on Amazon, read it, and let me know what you think.
Okay. Also, I know that women with endometriosis, sometimes some of those things can trigger it. Do you know about that? I know taking estrogen or something like that can trigger your endometriosis to flare. Do you have the knowledge on that?
So, what I think you're trying to say, maybe the medicine that's associated with endometriosis, kind of like stop your periods, can cause you to have like the symptoms of menopause. Is that what you're saying?
No. So
Or
so
opposite?
so basically, I'm not taking anything for endometriosis. They had prescribed me some like birth control, but it was causing my hair to fall out, so I stopped taking it. I think it was estrogen that they were giving me or something. Birth control.
Hmm.
What is in birth control? Does it have estrogen in it or something?
Yes, it has another type of, it's a synthetic estrogen, I should say.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was causing my hair to fall out. So I just completely stopped taking it. But I haven't had any issues or any symptoms or anything like that. But I have read somewhere that taking certain things for menopause can trigger your endometriosis to flare up.
I'm not too familiar with that. I'm not too
Mm.
familiar with that. But I can see how hormones can may affect it. So that's something that like you would tell your provider in the beginning, like, oh, I have history of this. I read this. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, before I get into the hormone replacement
Yeah.
therapy, because it may be an issue with that as well. It's always something. But I did not know that you could be in perimenopause that long before your cycle even stops completely.
Right. So you can go through, because remember, what menopause is defined as 12 months with no cycle. So you can go 9 months and think you about to hit the number of menopause, and your period come down.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go through that for years. Even the symptoms, even if your period stop, say your period stop for the 12 months menopause, you still can have those other symptoms like mood swings and low libido and sleepless nights and hot sweats and things like that. Yeah, you
Mm.
still can go through it.
So after menopause, does the symptoms go away after you completely? stopped and you don't have a period anymore, do all those crazy symptoms of menopause, perimenopause symptoms go away and you go back to normal?
So they can carry on in some women. They can
Mm.
carry on. I have some women, had some patients that wanted to like wean themselves off hormone replacement therapy to see how they were, and it was like, no, 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 I need it back. I need it back. So yeah,
Wow, so it really changes your mood. Does it make people feel back to normal again?
yes, yes, it does.
Really?
It does. I have patients say, "Thank you so much. I'm sleeping better. My mood is better during the day. My memory, brain fog is improving." Yes.
I'm gonna have to look into that because when I tell you I be up till 3 o'clock in the morning, almost every night, I cannot sleep. Okay, my sleeping. I've tried melatonin. That's
Hmm.
part of why I ain't taking nothing else, but melatonin does not work. So,
Yeah, you can try valerian root. It helps with sleeping. Magnesium glycinate may help with
mm,
sleeping. Ashwagandha, and
mm,
like you said, melatonin. If not, if those doesn't work, then you can try micronized progesterone. It's a bioidentical hormone.
really, and you sell all those things?
Well, with that one, I have to prescribe it, and your
Oh,
insurance may
okay,
cover it. Yeah. If
okay,
not, it's not that much at the pharmacy.
okay.
Yeah, I have to
I
prescribe
love it.
it.
I
Mhm.
like the fact that you're online, that I don't have to go to the doctor because I'm one of those people that don't like to go if I don't have to. I have to, regular checkups cool, but as far as like just for something like this, if I can just see a doctor online, that would be great. Or a nurse
Yes.
practitioner.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's a lot of people like that. Just give me this treatment so I can just get back to life.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I think I asked you what natural products or treatments do you recommend or offer through Vagesty for perimenopause outside of what we already talked about?
So I do have yanni oil to help with dryness down there. That's as of now, that's about the only thing I have that's geared towards women who are going through like their perimenopause
Mm,
stage. I don't have anything like tea, like hormone herbal tea or anything like that. At least not yet. Let me say that.
okay. Everything else is something that they're going to need a prescription for after they do a consultation.
Right. Online, if you shop with Vagesty, the products, I have the boric acid, the feminine wipes. I have the oil, the body washes, the scrub, and the mask.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you heard of uh what's that cream called? Wild yam cream or something like that?
Yes.
What do you know anything about it and does that work?
Yes. So it's estrogen. Yeah, like even bioidentical hormone therapy. Remember you was asking me about what's in the birth control. So there are two types of hormone. You have synthetic and you have the bioidentical hormone. Synthetic is what you find in your birth control, right? And
Okay.
then bioidentical estradiol is more of like the natural, right? It match our body molecules and chemicals and cells and things like that. So in the wild yams, because in the compounding pharmacy, they make their estradiol they could make it from the wild yams, right? And so that cream that you're talking about, that is to help with like hot flashes and things like that. So women use that. Again, like I tell my patients, you can use that if it works good, but when it stops working, I mean, you just need something a little bit more, like
Oh,
hormone
okay.
replacement therapy. Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't know. I ordered some, but I haven't used it because I'm skeptical. I'm just a skeptic about things. I don't know why I ordered it and didn't use it, but I saw people saying that it helped with some of their.
Yeah, it's natural. It's natural. I
Oh,
would
okay.
just, make sure who you got it from is a legit company and looking at the ingredients and everything. But yeah, I recommend wild yams if that's what you want to start with.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Th- Does it only help with the night sweats or the sleeping, or does it help with pretty much overall symptoms?
So you'll probably need to add the progesterone for the sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would say that would be more for like the maybe the brain fog, maybe help with the hot flash, a little bit of the night sweats, like that. So maybe some
Oh, okay.
skin care. It may help with that as well.
Really? Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
definitely have brain fog.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sounds great. Um, you've been inspired by your mother and other boss women. How have those relationships influenced your path?
Oh, my mother is my queen. I love her so much.
Aw.
So my mom, I just told her that I said, Mom, you're like the mother that's gonna make sure like your kids have everything, even grown kids. Like she's a
Aw.
great mother. She's a prayer warrior, she's a minister.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, yeah, so even just her prayers, I know from her prayers for me when I was young, it's still carrying me through to today. So she
Aw.
definitely inspired me. She's a nurse as well. She's a registered nurse. And so that kind of helped me guide to what I wanted to do with my career.
Hmm.
And she's also a property owner as well.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so she has a little entrepreneur in her as well.
How
And
cool.
and just following both women that's just doing their thing and making a difference in their patients' lives or customers' lives really help inspire me, motivate me to keep going. You know, Melissa Odom with Queendom Aesthetics. She has a skincare line. She is a licensed esthetician in New Orleans, where I'm from too, as
I could
well.
tell you're from New
Yeah,
Orleans. I can
yes.
hear it.
And so she inspired me. Her marketing is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Jessica Duport of BB Judy. Um, she inspired me. Her marketing. Um, Monique Rodriguez, the owner of Hair Care Line. She's a nurse
Oh,
turned into an
wow.
entrepreneur with hair care line. She inspired me because I'm a nurse and or nursepreneur. Yes.
Oh,
So
cool.
just looking at them and just they're very transparent. That's what I love
Hmm.
about them. They are very transparent in their journey. And so
Hmm.
I'm looking and I'm picking up and I'm trying to avoid those mistakes that they made. So I'm glad that we have platforms like this so people
Yeah.
can share their story, their journey, and you want to try to avoid,
Yeah.
those things that they say don't do or do not do.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
very helpful.
Yeah.
I love it. Um, have you collaborated with any other female business owners? And if you have, what have those partnerships looked like and how have they impacted you?
So I have collaborated with other business owner, but it's more like let's do a live together or something like that. It could be someone that's in the same type of business industry that I'm in. I
Hmm.
did do a couple of live sessions with someone who has a feminine care line as well. So we might talk about something that like bacterial vaginosis or vaginal steaming and things like that. So I think that's good to also show that it's not all about competition,
Yeah.
collaboration as well.
I love
Um,
that.
I've done lives with estheticians as well, talk about skincare, other nurse practitioners. We kind of like in the same industry, but not in the same industry. Just talking about a topic and just giving our feedback and our expertise on the subject.
Okay, that's cool. I'm all about the female collaboration and women coming together because
Yes.
when we are two and three in agreement, you just never know what can happen.
What can be, yes.
Yes. So what's next for Vagesty and do you have any upcoming projects or expansions or causes you would like to highlight?
So right now, I'm in the transition of moving everything just online. Um, and nothing right now, but I know God got something up his sleeve for me. I already know.
That's
So
for
I
sure.
would just say follow my Instagram to get updates.
Okay. And what is your website and Instagram?
So Instagram is at Vagesty for her, as well as TikTok at Vagesty for her, and my website is www.vagesty.com.
Okay. So before we get out of here, is there any message or any helpful message that you would like to give some woman out there that is in the perimenopause stages that is afraid to speak out or just afraid to talk about it and or any type of message you would like to give to inspire somebody?
Yes, I just want to tell her that the woman who's going through perimenopause and may not know she's going through it, you're not crazy. And get more than one opinion. If they say, oh, it's just this, or just lose weight, oh, everything is normal, blood work, you're not crazy. If you know something is off, is wrong with your body, don't be afraid to get a second opinion. Don't be afraid to get a second opinion. And just in general for women all across the world, I would say protect your peace. Put God first. Have a praying life, a praying circle, and just keep going no matter what. Just keep going. There are gonna be some rough days, but the good days is gonna outweigh the rough days. So just keep going, sis. Keep going.
Amen. I love that message. Okay, so Annterria, your work is making a powerful difference in the lives of women. Thank you for creating a space for wellness, truth, and transformation. And to our listeners, make sure you follow Vagesty and the Vagesty Women's Center on Instagram for your natural health tips, wellness products, and real conversations about women's health. Make sure you reach out to her. And thank you so much for joining me on this show. I enjoyed speaking with you and learning about perimenopause a little bit more, especially learning about vaginal bacterial infections for women and the things that you can take over the counter versus having to go to the doctor. That was some great tips. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and being the guest on the Boss Woman Network podcast.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having me.
You are so welcome. And until next time, keep leading with purpose and being the boss you were born to be. All right. Bye.
Bye.